why sharing your unique stories and unique insights won't help you sign new clients using social media, and what most online coaches get wrong about standing out in the age of AI.
Anthony, that was a pretty crazy hook to start with. What do you mean? Oh, and by the way, I'm Tig.
I'm Anthony.
And in the last 3 years, we've generated over $1 million with our own coaching program. We help online coaches hit consistent months without social media through 15-minute solo podcasts.
I don't know if you noticed, Tig, but there's a bunch of AI content being posted, millions every single day online.
For sure, I've noticed. It is hard not to notice.
Now, this makes things so difficult when it comes to online coaches out there who want to stand out, who want to gain traction, who want to sign clients when there's so much AI slop being posted online by both the authorities and everyone else below them.
Well, that was a question that was plaguing many people like a few months ago, but I think now we're starting to see the answer a bit more regularly, a bit more common said, which is, well, be more of yourself. Share your stories, share the things that happen in your life, because AI hasn't had a life, so it can't copy you. And frankly, neither can other people, because again, it's your life. That's how you're going to win.
Now, that is the answer that most online coaches are hearing now. But I don't agree that that's how online coaches are going to accomplish that goal. I just don't see that being the outcome.
That's how we got to this crazy hook that you started with, because that's what most people tend to believe. I've heard some very respected voices saying that that's going to be the new way. So where do you see that falling short for online coaches?
So I think whilst that's true that, hey, yeah, you should share your stories. However, when you're then posting that on social media and everyone is hearing the advice of share your story, share your insights, now all of a sudden, everyone's sharing their stories, their insights, their experiences. If you're someone who's genuine, authentic, you're not going to lie about it, right? Our clients wouldn't lie about their stories, about their insights. But their competitors, people lie all the time on social media.
Especially when everyone's telling bigger stories and it kind of just becomes
Who's got the best story?
Exactly. And it can just be slight exaggerations that then basically result in a lie, or it can just be outright lie.
So you're then in this environment where things are very competitive, and because everyone's telling their stories, sharing their insights, in combination with just so much AI slop, just so much content, the consumers and people who are on social media, your dream clients, they become way more skeptical because they're hearing like this random person went from having no legs to then having 2 legs and then won the Olympics. You hear all these crazy stories that you're like, what do I believe? What don't I believe? People are just a lot more skeptical.
Yeah.
So even though you might be telling the truth, you're telling your story, sharing your insights, telling your truth on social media, trying to market yourself. And it's a very high leverage strategy, but it's being applied in a low trust environment, which is social media. If you read every post online and you trusted it, that strategy would work. But the majority of posts that I see online, I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. That seems like it was written by AI. That story sounds way too good to be true, because it's probably way too good to be true.
And wait till the robots actually start telling stories, because that's not that far off either.
Exactly.
So what you're saying isn't that telling stories, basically being yourself, sharing your insights, is a bad strategy fundamentally.
No.
It's actually a good strategy. But when everyone starts doing it on social media specifically, with AI still doing more of that and still getting better, it's not going to be what people are cracking it up to be, and it's not going to save online coaches who are not yet already famous.
Correct. And it's specifically because they're applying that strategy in a very low trust environment, which is social media. What should people do, basically? We're throwing rocks, but what's the alternative? Well, the alternative is figuring out a way to apply those same principles of sharing your stories, sharing your insights, your life experiences and your truths, but applying it to a high trust environment, to a place where the users on that platform actually trust the voices who are sharing those stories and insights.
So this episode is about networking events.
I wish it was about never.
This episode is to say, do an in-person mastermind.
Absolutely not, no.
Okay.
But that is a good solution for people who are looking to build trust in a high leverage way. Masterminds are great. But the problem is, how are you meant to get people to show up and be interested in your in-person masterminds when you don't have authority online?
Well, that's why you go to conferences and networking events and share your stories there, right?
But even there, how are you going to land those conferences and do those in-person networking if you don't have the authority.
So you're saying ditch social media, focus on in person, because that's how you can build trust.
Look, I would rather walk through 1,000 miles of shattered glass barefoot than to go to networking events in person and try to build my business off the back of that. I don't think that's a good use of my time, and it's certainly not a good use of our clients' time either.
Especially if they live in the middle of nowhere or in somewhere where they don't have those things on their doorstep. So all jokes aside, what is a realistic different environment that isn't social media but also isn't in person, where sharing more of yourself can actually take you a lot further and would save you with how things are going with AI and trying to get clients online?
Well, look, our whole business, thankfully, has been built on the back of helping business owners build their businesses without needing social media. It's kind of by accident, technically, because over 6 years ago, when we got into the online space and became entrepreneurs, we stumbled onto the opportunity of publishing books. And the books we decided to publish were all about podcasting.
You don't have to dress it up nice. We were in university trying to make money online, bought some course on self-publishing books on Amazon, chose podcasting because it was low supply, high demand.
That was a strategy,
and
right?
learn about podcasting on the way.
Now, thankfully, one of our books became a best-selling book. And from that, we had business owners reaching out to us because they wanted to work with us one-on-one to launch and grow their podcasts. Brilliant, great. We started working with them hands-on, and turns out that that was an amazing way for them to build trust and build authority without posting on social media, because we quickly realized after working with hundreds of them, they all hate social media. So there's a perfect way for them to be able to build their trust, be seen as an authority, do an authentic way, and attract dream clients into their business that didn't require social media. So for the longest time, we've been helping business owners build their businesses without social media. But I think now more than ever, it's more important that more online coaches start publishing podcasts as a way to share their story, to share their insights, to hedge against AI slop that's going on in the low trust environment, which is social media. Podcasts, high trust environments, people can hear your voice, feel connected to you, and you can build authority and attract clients through the podcast without needing social media, without having to play that game.
And what most people don't know is it can be as simple as no guests, just a 15-minute recording, however you feel, however you look. You don't even need video. And it can be that simple to hedge yourself, like you say. Compare that to going to in-person events, right? Way easier. That's what we've always been doing, and now we're just becoming more advocates for it with how the world is going.
So like we said at the start of this video, if you are deciding as an online coach to post more on social media, your insights, your stories, your life experiences as a way to stand out on social media and attract your clients into your business, is going to be a major uphill battle, because you're trying to build trust in a low trust environment. There's a bunch of AI content, AI slop. Everyone, their mum and their dog are turning one piece of content into 1,000 pieces of content, and that's flooding the environment with so much sloppy content. That means most of your dream clients aren't very trusting of what they read online. The same way that you're likely becoming way more skeptical of the stuff you see online. So what this means is you need a new way to build trust in a high trust environment, which is what 15-Minute Solo Podcast allows you to do. We'll help hundreds of business owners generate dream clients using 15-Minute Solo Podcasts that allows them to attract dream clients into their business, where they can share their story, share their insights, because people aren't worried and skeptical and sketched out thinking, is this AI or not? They can tell instantly by hearing someone's voice, and they build a much deeper trust and connection with our clients. So look, if you do continue to post on social media, understand that you're sharing your stories, sharing your insights where other people are doing the exact same thing, but in an environment that's very low trust. And if you continue doing that, you won't gain traction and you won't sign the clients you want consistently. You need a new approach. Online coaches are failing to sign new clients consistently because they're sharing their stories, experiences, and insights in a low trust environment, which is social media. Now, if that sounds interesting to you, a 15-Minute Solo Podcast, be sure to subscribe to our podcast, where we share our insights of how to sign dream clients without posting on social media.